Growing up, I had two younger brothers and a younger sister, and we were all pretty close in age. And most of my life, I was left in charge of my siblings, so I spent a lot of time entertaining them and making them happy, and also just spending a lot of time by myself. I feel like God's always been in my life. I've always been afraid of God, I guess. The fear of God's always been put in me. I think I've had a very misinformed life about God and the church. And so I think that's where my fear came from, is because I felt like everything I did was wrong and that I was gonna end up in hell. And I was left alone a lot. So I would be thinking about that quite a lot. Death and what's gonna happen. And the feeling of being unloved, and how that feels, being so angry all the time and not understanding love and not feeling love. So I never thought that God loved me. My mom decided that she was gonna leave my dad, and so she took the younger siblings and moved. And I remember when she was moving, I asked her why she was taking them and not Dryden and I, my brother, and she said there's still hope for them. And I remember that moment because I was 13 and I didn't see my mom for a long time after, and that was pretty much the last thing she said to me. Eventually, and she moved to a new, different province. And so my dad was dealing with some major depression. He couldn't be a father, so I kind of had to step up for my brother and my dad and take care of them. And then, so eventually we followed my mom to the next province because my dad didn't want to be away from my siblings, and I was still rejected from her, kind of like, you're not my problem anymore. And then moving from Alberta to BC was quite hard. There's a lot of different people, and the people do different things like drugs and alcohol, and I really tried hard to fit in. And 14, I was addicted to substances, and getting progressively worse, from alcohol to other drugs to hard drugs, and all the way up until about 26 years old, so a good decade. So it was quite difficult. Eventually, I really did not feel like myself. I just kept letting people take advantage of me. I didn't feel like I was being true to myself, and I didn't like how everyone treated me. And it's about 7 years ago, I quit smoking cigarettes, quit hard drugs, and then 6 years ago, I quit alcohol. And I remember that was the first time I felt the presence of Jesus around me, was when I quit smoking, and I was out in public, and I'd smile at someone and they'd smile back at me instead of looking at me with pure disgust. And I felt like that's what I want to do. I want to be happy, and I want to make other people happy. I had a kid 3 years ago, and so this is probably one of the turning points for me, is thinking about what kind of future I want my daughter to have, what I want the community around her to be like, and what I want her to believe in, and I don't want her to be scared like me every night. And so I was considering checking out a church to see if I could have a nice community. I was always worried that I wouldn't be accepted because I didn't believe in God at this point, and I didn't think that I would be accepted. I was looking around, and I eventually found a church, and I had a discussion with the pastor who had a similar life experience as I did. He has so much faith and so much love in the Lord and trust that his life would be better. And I looked at that, and it made me believe in God. Like, if this man who's been through the same things as me can overcome that, become a great father, because he's got faith in the Lord, maybe there's something there. Having Jesus in my life has taken off so much of the burden of feeling that I have to save my family, save my siblings, save the people around me. I can let God and Jesus take that and just let him take care of me. And I feel like the weight that is taken off of me has been so, life-changing. When Jesus died on the cross, and died for our sins, it's something I can't even fathom because I don't feel like we're worthy. But yet we are, and he did it for us. And I guess I just keep thinking about like Saul, like and how he said that Jesus died for the sinners, and of them I'm the worst. And I know there's worse people than I am, but from what I've done in my life, I do feel like I'm pretty bad. Was pretty bad, and so I feel like that he could save me, and he can save anyone. Baptism, to me, is a great way to show publicly to the people you love what's truly in your heart. It's like an outward way to show how you feel on the inside, and I cannot wait to be baptized to show my love for Jesus and the faith that I have in him, and to continue on this journey all in with Jesus.